Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Learning Curve. This is Shivangi Padoria and today we are going to start compiler design. So let's start. So guys, in this subject we are going to study all those units that are generally asked in your university exams as well as in your competitive exams. So we will start from the unit 1, which is Introduction to Compiling and Lexical Analysis. After that, we will start unit 2nd, Syntax Analysis and Syntax Directed Translation. After this, we will start unit 3rd, Type Checking and Runtime Environment. After unit 3rd, we will start to study unit 4, that is Code Generation. After Code Generation, we will wind up this subject on unit 5, which is Code Optimization. So guys, we will start from the basics of compiler. We will understand that what is compiler, what is the role of compiler in our computer system. Guys, suppose if there are two person, उनमें से एक को स्पेनिश आती है, एक को फ्रेंच आती है. अब उन दोनों को आपस में कम्युनिकेट करना है. तो इस कम्युनिकेशन के लिए हमें एक ऐसे मीडिएटर की रिक्वायरमेंट पड़ेगी जो कि एक पर्सन की बात को दूसरे पर्सन तक पहुंचा सके या उसको समझा सके और दूसरे की फर्स्ट पर्सन को एक्सप्लेन कर सके. बिकॉज दिस पर्सन इज़ बाइलिंगुअल, उसको दोनों की बातें समझ आती हैं. तो सेम ऐसी ही सिचुएशन कंपाइलर के अंदर होती है. कंपाइलर क्या करता है, जो हमारी हाई लेवल लैंग्वेज होती है जैसे कि C++, उसको किसी भी लो लेवल लैंग्वेज प्रोग्राम में कन्वर्ट करता है. बिकॉज हमारा कंप्यूटर सिस्टम जो है वो बाइनरी सिस्टम पे वर्क करता है. वो सिर्फ 0 और 1 समझता है, इधर 0 और 1. इफ़ इट इज़ 0 दैट मीन्स देयर इज़ नो कनेक्शन और it is false. If there is 1 then it means connection established or it is true. तो क्या कंपाइलर जो भी प्रोग्राम हम टाइप करते हैं तो उस प्रोग्राम को वो क्या करता है, किसी भी एक लो लेवल लैंग्वेज में कन्वर्ट करता है. जैसे कि मशीन लैंग्वेज को ही हम बाइनरी लैंग्वेज या फिर 0 और 1 कहते हैं, या फिर असेंबली लैंग्वेज में कन्वर्ट करता है. असेंबली लैंग्वेज देन फर्दर मशीन लैंग्वेज में कन्वर्ट करती है हमारे किसी भी हाई लेवल प्रोग्राम को. तो इस प्रोसेस के थ्रू हमारा जो कंप्यूटर सिस्टम होता है वो क्या करता है, तो वो उस कोड को समझ पाता है कि मतलब यूज़र ने क्या इनपुट हमें दिया है. जो भी इनपुट यूज़र देता है कीबोर्ड के थ्रू, वो उस इनपुट को क्या करता है, एक लो लेवल लैंग्वेज में कन्वर्ट करके उस कोड को समझता है कि मतलब यूज़र ने क्या इनपुट दिया है. सो कंपाइलर इज़ अ प्रोग्राम दैट ट्रांसलेट अ हाई लेवल लैंग्वेज प्रोग्राम C++ into a functionally equivalent. That is, there is no difference between the functionality of high or low level language. That would be same into a functionally equivalent low level language program, machine or assembly language. There is one diagram that here is a high level language C++ feds into a compiler as a input and it will generate an output which is in the form of low level language और machine language जो कि हमारा सिस्टम समझता है. तो इस कंपाइलर को हम बेसिकली क्या कह सकते हैं, एक ट्रांसलेटर हुआ जो क्या कर रहा है, एक लैंग्वेज को दूसरी लैंग्वेज में ट्रांसलेट कर रहा है. सो ट्रांसलेटर, व्हाट इज ट्रांसलेटर? So translator is a program which translates one language into another language. ट्रांसलेटर एक ऐसा प्रोग्राम है जो क्या करता है, एक लैंग्वेज को किसी भी दूसरी लैंग्वेज में कन्वर्ट करता है. या तो वो हाई लेवल लैंग्वेज को लो लेवल लैंग्वेज में कन्वर्ट करेगा या फिर लो लेवल लैंग्वेज को हाई लेवल लैंग्वेज में कन्वर्ट करेगा. Guys, there is a one note. This is the important point. Every compiler is also a translator. जितने कंपाइलर होते हैं वो सारे के सारे ट्रांसलेटर होते हैं. क्यों? क्योंकि वो हाई लेवल लैंग्वेज को क्या करते हैं, एक लो लेवल लैंग्वेज में कन्वर्ट करते हैं. बट एवरी ट्रांसलेटर इज़ नॉट अ कंपाइलर. लेकिन हर ट्रांसलेटर कंपाइलर नहीं होता, क्योंकि कंपाइलर क्या करता है, सिर्फ हाई लेवल लैंग्वेज को एक लो लेवल लैंग्वेज में कन्वर्ट करता है, जबकि ट्रांसलेटर क्या करता है, हाई टू लो, लो टू हाई, वो दोनों काम कर सकता है, इधर हाई लेवल टू लो लेवल लैंग्वेज और लो लेवल टू हाई लेवल लैंग्वेज. सो दिस इज द बेसिक इंट्रोडक्शन अबाउट कंपाइलर. So guys, in turn, compiler is basically a translator whose source language is the high level language and target language is the low level language. Compiler basically क्या होता है, translator होता है जो हमारी source language सोर्स लैंग्वेज यानी कि जिस लैंग्वेज को हमें कन्वर्ट करना है वो होती है हमारी हाई लेवल लैंग्वेज, और जिस लैंग्वेज में कन्वर्ट करना है यानी कि जिस लो लेवल लैंग्वेज में कन्वर्ट करना है उसको हम बोलते हैं टारगेट लैंग्वेज. सो कंपाइलर इज यूज टू इम्प्लीमेंट अ हाई लेवल लैंग्वेज ऑन अ कंप्यूटर. So guys, it's all about compiler. Now, what is interpreter? After compiler, why we need interpreter? So guys, interpreter is also a program just like a compiler which compiles a source code into low level language, but there is a major difference between compiler and interpreter. See guys, compiler converts the complete source code at a time, but interpreter compiles a source code line by line और स्टेटमेंट बाय स्टेटमेंट. दैट इज इंटरप्रेटर क्या करता है, एक प्रोग्राम को कंपाइल करता है, कंपाइल तो करता है लेकिन वो कंपायर की तरह नहीं करता. वो क्या करता है, हर प्रोग्राम की लाइन बाय लाइन को कन्वर्ट करता है या फिर स्टेटमेंट बाय स्टेटमेंट को कंपाइल करता है लो लेवल लैंग्वेज में, जबकि कंपाइलर क्या करता है, पूरे सोर्स कोड को एट अ टाइम रीड करके और कन्वर्ट कर देता है. सो दैट इज़ द मेजर डिफरेंस बिटवीन इंटरप्रेटर एंड कंपाइलर. That's why interpreter is generally used for debugging purpose, that is checking purposes, used to fix errors. Because क्या होता है, अगर मान लो सपोज हमारे किसी भी प्रोग्राम में कोई एरर आ रही है तो इंटरप्रेटर क्या करेगा, उसको उसी लाइन में रीड करके उस एरर को रिमूव कर देगा, फिक्स कर देगा, क्योंकि वो क्या करता है, लाइन बाय लाइन कन्वर्ट कर रहा है कोड को, जबकि कंपाइलर क्या करता है, वो पूरे कोड को रीड करता है उसके बाद कन्वर्ट करता है. सो दैट इज़ द बेनिफिट ऑफ इंटरप्रेटर, but generally we are using compiler nowadays. Hello friends, we shall discuss more about compiler. As we learned, the main aim of compiler is to convert high level language into a low level language. Then there is a question, if we have to convert high level language into a low level language, then why don't you write the program in directly low level language? The reason is we are not comfortable in writing programs in zeros and ones or binary language. We are comfortable in writing program in English language or any other language similar to English, and then convert it using a software from high level language to low level language. Along with compiler, we have so many software modules which will help us here. So if we look at this diagram, I will tell you what are all these phases available. See, first, the high level language will be given to preprocessor. Then the preprocessor is going to convert high level language to pure level language. So, what is the difference between high level language and pure high level language? See, let us take an example. Suppose if we write a C program, then the starting lines are going to contain hash include, or it is going to contain hash defined. These hash include and hash defined are termed as header files. See guys, हम जब भी कोई सी प्रोग्राम लिखते हैं तो उस प्रोग्राम की स्टार्टिंग जनरली हम उसकी हेडर फाइल से लिखते हैं, दैट इज हैश इंक्लूड stdio.h, हैश इंक्लूड iostream.h. these are the header files. So if a program contains such lines, then it is in the pure high level language, and preprocessor is going to remove these lines. So removing hash include by including the files called file inclusion. In turn, file inclusion means whatever files you want to include, the preprocessor is going to substitute the entire file in your source program. And the second one is hash defined. See, let us take an example. Sometimes you might to define a constant and you don't want to write its name. See, let me clear you with an example. कुछ प्रोग्राम ऐसे होते हैं जिसमें सपोज हमें इंटरेस्ट की नीड है, बिकॉज इंटरेस्ट प्रोवाइडेड बाय बैंक एंड इंटरेस्ट इज वेरिएबल, ऑल्दो इट इज कांस्टेंट बट इट वेरीज. इफ एनी वेयर इंटरेस्ट हैज़ टू बी चेंज्ड, तो हम हर उस जगह पे जाके उस इंटरेस्ट की वैल्यू को चेंज नहीं कर सकते. दैट इज हम उस इंटरेस्ट मतलब आप उस प्रोग्राम तक नहीं जा सकते कि आप हर प्रोग्राम पे जाके उस इंटरेस्ट की वैल्यू को मैनुअली चेंज करें. सो इंस्टेड ऑफ डूइंग दैट, यू कैन जस्ट चेंज द वैल्यू ऑफ हैश डिफाइंड कांस्टेंट. Getting my point? Then it is automatically gets reflected wherever the value of that interest has been defined. So it is called macro expansion or macros. In turn, so guys, what are macros? Macro is nothing but it is a small function for which you don't want to really call a function, because function calling is generally a overhead and macro calling is simple. That's why we go for macro expansion instead of calling any of the function. So guys, hash include and hash define are also called preprocessor directives, or sometimes it is also called directive preprocessor, which is about what to do. And hash include is also is used generally used for file inclusion, and hash define is generally used for macro expansion. So this preprocessor converts the high level language into a pure high level language, and this pure high level language is uh, going to the compiler, and then this compiler is convert this pure high level language into a assembly language. Assembly language is nothing but it is also a type of machine language, but in this words are used instead of numbers, like move, subtract, add, etc. And this assembly language is given to assembler as an input. Assembler is generally a mediator that converts the assembly language into a pure machine code. Assembler for one platform will not work for another platform. And assembler also generate two types of code. One is relocatable machine code, another one is absolute machine code. So what is the difference between these two codes? See, relocatable codes are that code which can load the machine code in any point of computer and you can run easily, while the absolute code is generated by the loader or linker, and this is the final code which is accepted by our computer system. So guys, this is all about the brief introduction of our computer system and the working of compiler, that how compiler converts one language into another language. So guys, now we shall discuss the phases of compiler. So there are total 6 phases of compiler that are being used during the conversion of high level language into a low level language. Number 1, lexical analysis phase. It is a first phase of compilation. It is also called linear analysis or scanning. Why it is called scanning? Because in this phase, a input program gets converted into a set of tokens. So what is token? Guys, token is a sequence of characters having a collective meaning that describe the class or category of input data. Um, like example, identifiers, all keywords are tokens. So it is the first phase of compilation in which the complete source code is scanned from left to right and broken up into group of strings, which is called token. There are few functionalities of this lexical analyzer, like it removes all the white spaces in our program, it ignores the comment line, and there are also so many properties about it too. We will discuss in detail in my next video. So now we will move further. Number second, syntax analysis phase. So guys, this phase is also called parsing or hierarchical analysis, because ये क्या करता है, जो हमारी सेट ऑफ टोकन्स हमें जो लेक्सिकल एनालिसिस फेज से मिले थे, वो उस सेट ऑफ टोकन्स को एक पार्ट्स ट्री के फॉर्म में जनरेट करता है. इट गिव्स द हायरार्किकल स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ दैट टोकन स्ट्रिंग. दैट हायरार्किकल स्ट्रक्चर इज कॉल्ड सिंटैक्स ट्री और पार्ट्स ट्री. That's why this phase is called syntax analysis phase, because in this phase tokens generated by the lexical analyzer are grouped together to form a hierarchical structure that is called parts tree. After syntax analysis phase, semantic analysis phase works. In semantic analysis phase, once the syntax is checked by the syntax analyzer, then semantic analyzer determines the meaning of the source string, that what is the actual meaning of the syntax that has been passed by syntax analyzer. That's why semantic analysis is also called type checking. So after semantic analysis phase, intermediate code generator activates. Now ICG is a kind of code which is easy to generate and easy to translate into the target program or code. In intermediate code generator, code the code is in the variety of forms such as 3 address code, quadruple, triple, postfix notation, etc. If we talk about 3 address code, then it consists of instructions which is which has at most 3 operands. So intermediate code generator is nothing but it is a kind of code which is easy to generate and translate into the target program or its corresponding code. Then the output of ICG feeds into the code optimization as an input. Then the output of ICG is 3 address code. Now the code optimization accepts that 3 address code and it improves the intermediate code because it is necessary to have a faster executing code or less consumption of memory. So it eliminates the redundant codes that are present in our source code. So with the help of code optimization, we can improve the overall running time of a target program. Then the optimized code just fed into the code generator part of compiler. So the code generation says that the target code is less generated. So these codes are generally relocatable machine codes or assembly codes. So the code generator converts that optimized code into a assembly level code or just simply machine code. Suppose if there are two registers R1 and R2 and R1 and R2 wants to move their value in some in some variable to perform any addition operation. Then R1 moves its value, then R2 moves its value, and then further addition takes place between R2 and R1, and then further the result is stored in in next variable. So this is all about assembly code. We will discuss it in detail in my next video. Guys, along with these 6 phases, there are also two supporting terms are used in compiler. These are symbol table, another one is error handlers. So symbol table is generally used to store identifiers or variables that are being used in our source code or our program. It also stores the information about the attributes of each identifiers, what is the scope of that identifier, or what is a type like integer, character, float, and all the information about the storage allocated for it. It also stores information about the subroutine used in the program. And the error handlers is generally handles all the errors that comes during the compilation of our program. Guys, just notice one thing. Phases from 1 to 3, like lexical analysis phase, syntax, and semantic. These 3 phases are generally called analysis phase because in these phases, analysis of our source code, analysis of our tokens or set of strings being considered. Then after this phase, there is there is a generation phase between intermediate code generator, code optimization, and code generation, because it generates the target code or machine code. So guys, this is the overview of the phases of compiler. Now let's move further. So guys, this is the flow diagram of compiler and the phases of compiler, that how compiler works, how the phases of compiler individually perform its functionalities. So initially the source code or any high level language is fed into lexical analyzer as an input, and then this lexical analyzer scanned that input and convert it into a set of strings which is called token, and then this token as an input passed further to syntax analyzer phase. Then syntax analyzer phase converts that token or set of strings into a syntax tree, which is also known as parse tree or hierarchical tree. Then this parse tree of tokens further passed to semantic analyzer phase. Then this semantic analyzer analyzes that syntax tree and determines the type of the tree, or it determines the meaning of the source string. It further uh, passed this checked string to intermediate code generator as an input. Then this ICG converts that code into a 3 address code or quadruple code or postfix notation, and passed it further to code optimizer. Then this code optimization phase optimize that 3 address code just to improve the redundancy of string, or to improve the execution time of the string. and then this optimized code gets further transmitted to code generator phase, and then this code generator generates the assembly code or the machine code and gives us or gives our system a target code which is required for our system. And here the compilation of our program ends. Guys, so the starting three phases of our compiler, that is lexical phase, syntax phase or semantics phase, are generally or commonly called as analysis phase because it simply analyzes our input string. And the next three phases, that is intermediate code generator, code optimization and code generation, these three phases are collectively known as generation phase because it starts to generate our machine code or assembly code. And there are also two supporters are present, left and right side, the symbol table and error handlers. The symbol table simply stores the identifiers of variables that are being used in our program, or it also stores the information about attributes of each identifier, that what is the scope of particular variable and its storage allocation, everything it stores. And the error handler generally determines or handles all the errors that are present during the compilation of our program or during these six phases. So this is the uh, general introduction about the phases of compiler, or the overview of functionalities of our phases of compiler. Now we will discuss these phases one by one in our next video deeply. Thank you guys. See you soon. Stay home, stay safe. If you like this video, please hit the like button, comment below in comment section, and please subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon to get the latest notifications about my upcoming videos. Thank you guys.